Hello and welcome to the Purpose Driven Business Podcast. My name is Bruce and I'm from BC Accounting Services, and this is a uncut and unfiltered practical approach to running your business. There will be mistakes and there will be ums and ahs because that's who I am, and I am not an editor, I am an accountant, and I'm here to help you run your business. So what are we doing today? We are going to be talking about online accounting systems and the role of AI. And I know AI is a super buzzword at the moment, but I'll give you a brief history of AI and accountants. It started way earlier than what people think. The advent of computers actually started the AI journey in the accounting world. And then it kicked off hardcore at the end of, towards the end of the 90s, early 2000s, when the online system started coming on. Sage was pretty, Pastel was pretty early. QuickBooks came along as well, and then a whole bunch of them came on after that. So, is AI going to take over? No. It may well take a little bit of pressure off the day-to-day bookkeeping type side of things, where the biggest thing was the automatic capturing or what they call the automatic bank feeds that come from your bank and they go into the accounting system. So you don't have to sit there and type like, this is the date, and then from your manual, your paper bank statements. I always say, remember the guys that are always in the corner. There's a bookkeeper bashing away at the keyboard with paper and piles of files and all sorts of other things. That has significantly decreased, if not disappeared. The work still has to be done, of course. But the time it takes significantly decreased. Over my period of being an online accountant, which has been about 8, maybe 9 years now, completely, excuse me, it's decreased my time spent doing that sort of task by about 40 to 50%. And that's a significant difference. And that's something that I pass on to clients. I'm not spending 17 hours a month now. I might be spending 10. So now they get the benefit, the same service, but for cheaper, because I don't charge people for work I don't do. And so what also happened with that, and it's also a big change, is that there's less human error. So what I say, that the less human interaction with a computer, the less chance of data corruption, the less chance of human error. We are all human. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And if you think you don't make mistakes, well, I'm so sorry, but you do. Don't take it personally, but you're human. And there really only has been one person who has been perfect. So it decreases that risk of human error, which is phenomenal. I mean, it's a win-win. Sorry. I mean, even for the guy in the corner, like I say, guy in the corner, the accountant or the bookkeeper or whatever, they don't have to worry as much when they go through and when they check and when they recon and when they do whatever the reviews are and whatever, because they know it's that much more accurate, that much more, what's the word for it? There's less, they've interacted less, so therefore the less human error there is. Okay, so the role of AI is going to change. It's always changing. It's going, whatever. I'm not going to get into it, but what it is doing is it helping the business, you as the business owner, in making better decisions faster. Now, you made good decisions in the past because you had the information. No, that's a fact. But you can now do it now. If you give me my laptop, any laptop, and an internet connection, I can tell you what I have made this month, last year, whatever, the profits, the sales, what I've spent on, I don't know, printing and stationery for the last 5 years. I can give it to you in less than 4 minutes. In fact, profit and loss figure I can probably give you in less than a minute. So I've spoken about this before. If you want to make a big purchase, my laptop died, it's the same example I did the other day. You now know the information. You don't have to wait 2 months for your VAT to be done so your accountant can tell you how much of a loss or a profit you're making. So it is just that much quicker. Okay, the bank feeds in Xero, which is what I use, is done at least once a day. Okay, so it's I always say as of last night. So obviously today's information is not in yet because it hasn't gone and looked at the bank account yet. No, you can't expect that to happen. So that's the biggest thing in computers at the moment with accounts and bookkeeping and whatever. But why online? Why must you go online? And there's a huge amount of people that a big concern is about the security. Now in South Africa, we have huge cyber security. We really are up there with the best of them. And our data security for a Xero to go and look at our banks it takes a long time to figure it out, and it takes a long time to get the permissions. Okay, and they are incredibly secure. There's no, in my mind, there's very little worry involved. So security, yes, it's a big thing. Okay, a lot of people don't do it. Again, why? Because that's what's happened before. They're comparing things that happened 25 years ago to things that happened yesterday. You can't. Okay. So why online? What's the point? Why? And it's convenience, of course. I'm going away later this year and for a week, and if I have to, I can log onto my computer, or anybody's computer actually, and make sure I've got an internet connection, and then I can do anything. I can check emails. You can check emails on your phone from anywhere in the world. So you can check. Xero has an app. Okay, it's not a fully functional app. It's not your accounting system on your phone. Of course not. They don't. Nobody has an app like that. Okay, some of the big accounting firms don't even have an app. Well, they say they do, but they don't. And that's from personal experience, not just an opinion. So Xero has an app. Now, let's say, okay, I'm going into the mountains in June, July, whenever it is. I'm really looking forward to it. And say someone needs help with their tax. So, wow, okay, cool. On holiday, but whatever. I whip out my phone, I go to my Xero app, and I can send them a quote right there and then. How impressed would you be if a plumber came to your house, or an electrician, or you went to tune your piano, okay? And the guy says, right, okay, and you say, please send me an invoice. And he goes, hold on, your name, your numbers, okay, I did this, I was here on today, and I was here from 9 till 9:30, and it's an hourly rate of XYZ. Here it is, and your phone goes bling, and you've got the quote, or you've got the invoice. How impressive would that be? That's why you go online. That is why, because everything is instant. Now, take it one step further, okay? Xero has the ability to pay online. So on the invoice, on your phone, it says pay now, or pay via whatever, okay? Let's say you do, I don't know, Google Pay for argument's sake, okay? I don't know them. and you go click, pay now, send proof of payment to the guy because maybe he's not on the same bank as you. Cool, okay? So send a proof of payment. Before he's left, he's got proof that you've paid him. Wow. No chasing up. No worrying about whether you're going to pay him. No worrying about whether you've forgotten to pay him. Wow. That is Why Online. And yes, that is a very extreme case. I'm not saying it isn't. But that's the sort of convenience that it gives you. It can be done. Okay? That is advanced. You have to set it up all correctly. And this is why I'll use Xero, is that if you set it up correctly the first time, there is no reason to change it, and it's very, very smooth sailing from there. Okay, so that's all for today. Please, if you want to get hold of me, I'll put all the details in down below somewhere. And yeah, thanks for listening to the Purpose Driven Business Podcast, and we'll chat to you soon. Cheers.